What's up, everybody? Hello, and welcome back to some more Vicky 3. We're going to be starting a new campaign today. Recording this on the day that they announced that they're going to be pushing back the release of Sphere of Influence, the next big DLC for Vicky. And so I'm going to start a new series to tide it over because they're going to give us another month of time before we get a new and updated and improved Vicky. So I've decided to start a new campaign, and we are going to be playing as China. We're going to go for egalitarian society. I want to try to become communist. We haven't done a communist playthrough, and I also want to focus more on the micro side of things, building out our own market instead of having a really tough start where we have to bend the knee to a great power to get things done. So without further ado, let's get in there. I've actually already rolled a save. Can I roll into it? Yeah. January 1st, 1836. I have an opening move that I really want to do, and that is become friends with Russia. And I have a save here where Russia actually starts off with a good idea of us. We can get a trade agreement and defensive pact right away, which we will do. And the reason we want to become friends with Russia is because we're going to need them against GB. For everyone who's aware of what happens in the Victorian era, at the very start of the game, there is the Opium Wars, a war that's basically fought between China and Great Britain, where China has a terrible, terrible opium addiction, and they want to get rid of it. And they want to ban the trade of opium. And GB does not like that because they make a lot of money from opium. If you look over here in the East India Company in the British market, and we look at our opium, let's go and find that. I'm missing it. Buffering. Right there, right? They are the #1 producer of opium, and they have all these crazy markets over here. That produces a ton of opium. And a lot of that gets traded to us because we have a huge consumption demand for opium. If we look at our own market, look at that. We have a 5,000 demand for opium. Probably the #1 on the map, right? Like, it's all over here. Then it's Britain, and then it's India. So if they can't trade to our market, they lose out a lot of funds, which is why we need the defensive pact, because they will probably attack us. We'll get an event for the Opium Wars very soon. But first, let's do our starting moves. So, as China, we actually start off pretty damn good. We have 120 million GDP. We have the largest pop in the world, of course. And we have a lot of funds to do things with. Tech-wise, we are a little bit behind. We don't have line infantry. We are pretty industrially advanced, which is actually quite good. Like, this is a better start than Greece had, I think. Greece might have had cotton gin, but this is damn good. Military is terrible. We'll have to industrialize that. And then we're doing all right in society. We're a little bit behind, but we can catch up. So that's not too big of a concern. Our first thing I think we want to do is probably making a move in the industry section. The problem with being China is with our huge pop, right? If we look at our institutions, and we're going to go take a look at those right away, we have a huge bureaucracy cost for everything, right? 3,600 per level of an institution is going to be insane and very tough for us to overcome. So it's going to be hard to get things like colonization, dedicated police force. All of those are going to be really hard for us to get. And so we need to work our way towards there slowly. The good thing is we can build a government administration without having any problems. Look at our tax capacity. This is our capital in Beijing, and we don't even have full tax capacity over that. So any government administration we can build will actually contribute towards our tax capacity and work out a little bit more in our favor. It's still going to be a huge cost for us. We're going to need a ton of paper mills, but this will mean we can push those aggressively. Now, with that in mind, let's look at our laws and our government. We, of course, have these scholar officials instead of landowners. They're the same damn thing, but they have a different name. And I think they have a special thing for the scholar gentry where they actually endorse appointed bureaucrats, which I think we start off with right away. So let's go ahead and throw everybody in power. What did we roll? We got royalists for the armed forces and the scholars. We have a literati who does not care. We will need to bolster the literati. That's one of our early game things we have to do. So we will bolster them. We'll throw these guys into power. If I throw the literati in, okay, it's not too terrible. Let's look at our laws and who supports them. We want to make an early push to try to get professional army instead of peasant levies, because we will have an early war. So let's throw everybody in right now. We're a monarchy, so we can change laws left and right without any issues. I normally go for dedicated police force. This is a trap. Our deficit of bureaucracy would actually really hurt us. It costs us most of our funds. So we're not going to do that. We could ditch poor laws, which isn't actually terrible. Right now we spend, how much is it? It hasn't updated yet, but we will be spending a lot of money on welfare. It's going to be a thing. With this big pop, it's going to be so hard. And so this is going to be a huge drain on us in the long game. So we could ditch this, right? In fact, I might do it right away. No. Okay. We'll go for peasant levies because the opium wars are going to be a problem. And then we're going to go and we're going to get rid of the poor laws. That will give us more funds. It'll cut that thing that will hurt us in the late game. And it won't really upset too much of our balance here. We do have market access issues in Beijing. We'll have to build some ports there. Let's look at our government and our buildings. Sorry. We do have a lot of furniture, a lot of glassworks, some tooling workshops, and a ton of paper mills, a lot of urban centers. And so we can kind of kick things into gear. What do we want to go for first? Well, I personally think it's going to be a good idea to go for tools and iron. If we look at our market, one of the goods we start with a shortage of, we will sort by our high costs, is going to be iron down here. Right? This is going to be something that's going to cost us a ton. We eventually want to go to iron frame buildings. In fact, we want to do that right away because we can afford to spend it. And so we need iron to drive that. So let's go ahead and get ourselves some iron mines. Over here, we will go to resources, iron mines, and we're going to build us a couple here. So Southern Manchuria has a ton of iron mines. We're going to build about 2 here. And then to go along with that, I want to queue us up some tooling workshops in Beijing. We'll get 2 there. We also probably want to build a couple ports here. We'll queue up all 5 ports. We'll put 1 up above the tooling workshops. We're actually going to let's do 2 of those. Before all this gets done, I want to go ahead and build some construction sectors in our capital. Do I want to do that now or do I want to wait? Actually, I can do that now. Let's go ahead and check our consumption tax first. We want to do our services tax. We will tax opium. And we'll leave things be for now. We might come back and visit those again. Let's do a road maintenance in Manchuria. That's where we're going to be building our iron mines. That's going to be valuable. And what do we want to do with our spare authority? I think I'm going to keep it be for now. That way we can pass our law a little bit faster. In fact, could I throw some people out to make this? We'll just have to leave it up to the dice rolls. All right, we also want to do some improving of relations. Who has interest and will become our friend? We will improve with GB. The reason being that it will delay them declaring war on us. If we can get our stuff passed in the region, we'll be fine. But with the defensive pact with Russia, I don't think we have too big of a problem here. Did we not get that, or I have to unpause? I have to unpause. Okay. Real quick, I want to also combine our armies here. We have a ton of them, so let's start station some of these guys over here. We'll unpause and go speed 4 while I do this. That should be the defensive pact, I think. Yes, and the trade agreement, and our slaves have been liberated. Cool. We need to start uniting our armies together, so everyone in North China can come together under this guy. We're going to run 2 big armies of 200, and we'll have a smaller army of around 80, I think, is what the number maths out to at the game start. So we'll get that done. In fact, I'm going to pause and get the army figured out because there's no reason to watch me do it. But here's our event of the opium crisis. Opium addiction is ravaging Great Qing. Vast numbers of Han people have become opium fiends, causing a wave of crime, poverty, and idleness. Despite the obvious harm, Great Britain continues to flood the market. Every household has a bed-bound opium fiend, every street corner has an opium den, and every port welcomes British merchants pouring a glut of opium down the throats of any who will pay for it. We have 2 options. We can either go the top one for we have to do something, which gives us the Opium Wars crisis to the journal, and it will also get the Great Britain the event for the Opium Wars, which means they're likely to attack us. And we have a terrible modifier because of the opium addiction. Negative prestige, more war exhaustion, lower standard of living, more mortality, standard of living for radicals, loyalists, offense, defense, and morale. So our armies suck, our people suffer, and people die. The same modifier can be either for 9 years with the top option or 20 years with the bottom option. So we're going to take the top option. We will take the fight. With Russia on our side, I think we can win it, and we should all be good there. Likewise, let's go ahead and do an import route for iron from the Russian market. Let's see what else we can kind of trade here. Defensive pact, improved relations. Let's drop the improved relations with Russia. We don't need it because we'll get some of that from the defensive pact. And for now, let's go ahead and import some wood from the Russian market because we make a ton of money off that. That'll help their costs. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. And we're going to combine the armies here. But before we do that, first off, we are going to ban the trade of opium. This is going to really piss off GB. But it gets us progress on closing out our journal. We'll check that first. I keep saying I'm going to take a break, but First, let's look at our journals here. So the big one in China is national unity, or fragile unity. If we have bad events fire, we will fail this event, in which case we will have a Ming-plosion for our EU4 players, or a Qing-plosion for any Vicky players, where our nation will collapse, we'll have Heavenly Kingdom and other nations rise up, and that will be no fun. And so that happens from a variety of events. We can have it go up or down based on how we do. And to complete this, we have to stamp out monarchism, become a republic, and we need to also be recognized and conclude the Boxer Rebellion. Now, I've played the China game on my own, and I've never had Boxer Rebellion pop in like the first 50 years. So I don't know what that event is. I'll have to look into that. But that's something we have to do. Down here for the Opium Crisis, we have the event where we just banned opium. And this requires us to be at peace, have this event, have a ban opium trade last for a total of 5 years, and not give up a treaty port to one of the big nations here, which is why we'll probably have to fight GB, because they will want a treaty port here. So that's something we have to deal with. Let me go ahead and queue up 2 construction sectors in Beijing. And then we are going to, let me also do a road maintenance here, just so I don't have that negative infrastructure. And I'm going to get the army figured out, and I'll move some people around, and I'll bring you guys back once we're all good to keep going. All right, our armies are in motion. We just got this event down here that says Britain has responded angrily to the Qing ban on opium with multiple threats towards the government of Great Qing. So we will probably have a war coming our way very soon related to that. Our armies are moving. Where do I not see them? Where'd they go? I know they're out there. Excuse me? Okay, they're moving. Go speed 5. We're going to need to actually combine a couple, or promote a couple of our generals here. Let's see, we have an expensive plan. Let's start over there. Offensive planner and expensive tastes. That's all right. Colonial administrator, that kind of sucks. We're not going to do colonization anytime soon. Brave stalwart fender is going to be great, and then this dude is actually really good as well. So we'll promote you. Deju Wang, and we're also going to promote Yunfei Ji. I'm going to have so many names that I'm going to mispronounce. Feel free to try to tell me how to pronounce these in the comments. I normally pre-record these, so I might not see it for this one, but I like to learn. So I'm always looking out for that kind of stuff here. Let's take this army right here, and let's send off one of our generals for here. This guy is a cautious political operator and a supply replication expert. Let's get the alcoholic out of there, and we'll have this dude right here be in charge of what will be our expeditionary force, which will have a strength of around 100, and we'll have them all figured out. Who's the best one in this one? Stalwart defender, wrathful, traditionalist, meticulous, persistent, and cautious. You are the best one to be in charge of our troops, so we'll get you up to field marshal rank. You're going to be our main guy for our fights. I'm doing this because right now it's all about numbers. Small armies don't really do much for us. We want one big guy kind of in charge of everything. We have our first stall. We'll lose some bureaucracy. That is fine. We lost an interest in Indochina, I think. I'd rather have one in Indochina than in North India. We're not making any plays for GB for some time. So we'll just let that settle down there. I kind of do hope that GB attacks us. The reason being, if they attack us, we can get in... Oh, there it is. All right, we are going to decline. They're going to declare war. We can call, of course, Russia and Joseon in. Oh, I forgot my opener. Real quick, we're going to reduce autonomy with some of our subjects. So we start the game with some vassals and tributaries. And if I want to, I can reduce autonomy there. They accept, and then these guys will also accept. Great, and now we have some vassals that will get involved in our wars here. Okay, so our war goal here is we're going to go for force recognition. And we're also going to go for war reps against GB. These two things are kind of the key for us here. Because if we take these, it will only require us to snatch one little piece of land away from some of the guys here. Where are you going? You're in North China. I need you to unify with that 198 stack. Please and thank you. Do that. And we're going to break off about 10 troops from these guys. Put them in their own little army. We'll throw in an armored forces guy. Do any of these have, like, movement speed? Or, like, naval invasion? I think the supply requisitions is going to be fine for us. We'll do that one. And this is going to be our expeditionary force. We won't rename them. Here's opium smugglers. We need to execute them. Fuck GB. We don't care. Go ahead and stop relations. They're going to just hate us. All right. And they're going to be our rival after this war. So, we're going to call in Russia as an ally. And we will call in Landfang with... Who do you want war reps from? I'll just give you an obligation. Yeah, we'll just give you an obligation to Landfang. Actually, no, we'll leave Landfang the way they are. Oh, it's Joshian. We'll do them. Yeah. You are a vassal. You should just be involved in the war. That's a little strange. Meanwhile, let us go ahead and... Actually, remember, we actually start off not levying full taxes and not paying more to our government. Let's cut that out right away, and let's go in and really up our construction sectors in Beijing. In fact, I'm going to go full on in Beijing with construction. I'm doing this in my capital state because some of my later strategy is going to involve civil wars. It's something we just end up doing. And I like to have just a throughput production here because, I mean, you've got a spare population of 3 million peasants. We can just go all in on Beijing eventually and we'll be fine. So we'll do that. We won't go all in until we have railroads. We don't have the infrastructure to handle that. But we can do other things. Public arrest going dry. That's our second stall. 24% chance. Let's hope we can do it. Is there a way I can get myself an agitator that would support this? Do we have anyone? No, we do not. All right. We actually do need to raise ourselves an army. We're going to raise both these guys. I'm hoping to get by with just 2 troops here. If we go to our military and look at our mobilizations, I'm going to go ahead and throw in chocolate and liquor for all of our armies and get them all there. And we will upgrade the units that we can. Armed forces, what we want? Dedicated police force. I'm going to do it. I have a plan to make that work. I think we can have it happen. So I'll accept their thing here. Their love for opium shall be replaced by love for the state, or we can get just more standard living. This is for Nanjing. That's a pretty large population. Let's get some loyalists out of Nanjing there. 3 million loyalists, just like that. There is our war. It's scary, but we're going to be fine. And we are just going to do our little trick here, which is to invade their burgeoning colony in Africa. I forgot I did not combine my fleets. But that will actually help us out a lot, because we'll be able to get that, and that should satisfy the demands we have for both of our war goals there. Out of this war, they want to humiliate Russia, they want to take our treaty port, and they want war reps. There's naval invasion here. We're going to station our full army here. We'll also station the Red Plain Banner. And if we need more troops than that, I will station another army here. But I think Russia's 18 being here will be fine. I'm surprised they're not naval invading Russia. Sometimes they prioritize Russia over us, which is... fine by me, to tell you the truth of things. And so as long as we hold out from this naval invasion, we should be fine. Yeah, we have 500 troops there, ready to defend. So hopefully we can get things done. Professional army moved all the way to the last stage. I hope I get lucky on this roll. In fact, what I'm going to do is we're going to wait till one day before this tick happens, and we will throw out the landowners to make sure we have higher chance of passing. Or at least try to get a higher chance of passing. Or do I just let it roll? I'm not sure. Anyway, we have the war goals now. So that is progressing. Let's see how the fight is happening up here. Oh, shit. They're all mobilized. Defend, please. I need Russia to be the one defending here. Russian Navy is here now. There's professional army. Okay, that's going to help. If the Navy is there and holding strong, we'll have a higher chance here. Do they have anyone? They do have someone in the home countries. What can I do with you to keep putting up pressure here? Australia's involved. I'm just going to cause some chaos here. I don't think it'll work. We'll have someone defending. But we'll just keep... Yeah, that's not going to happen. What do we do here? I think we just take our armies back. Group up the navies and we'll have them defend. Yeah, it's all about having our fleets defend here. Here we go. Okay, hold. Okay. See, we're losing a ton of money. That's because our troops have been upgraded and we need a lot of iron and things from them. We also are going to need tooling and guns. Guns we can get. We can get that probably from the Russians, or we'll get some from the Spanish right now. Our convoys are going to get raided to hell and back. Let's pull in some of these from the Russians. I know it's not productive, but we need it anyway right now. We're building tooling workshops. Oh, it's because I built so many construction sectors. Oops. We'll deal with that. That'll get us some tools. Look at our tooling. We do have iron tools here. If I cut this back, it won't fix the problem. Let's look at Manchuria for iron mines. Southern Manchuria has quite a few here. And they have a bunch of spare infrastructure. Let's build like a full... Let's go up to the 15 limit. Let's be really aggressive with our iron production here. And let's keep holding back this landing here. How did you... How big of an army are they? They only have half their forces left. They're winning the naval battle. So I'm fine with one of these. I really don't want to lose this. This is massively important for us that we can actually get some good out of this. For now, we might actually turn off iron frame buildings and try to save on iron here. Now, let's try to save on iron for the war, because it might be affecting our offensive. Let's see. Do we use iron in our armies, or is it... What kind of goods do you use in our military? We do use some iron, so we'll have that free. So that can affect our offense, right? It's 5.9. We'll try here. What's happening? We're pushing. I'm choosing to believe that that had an effect because we don't have a shortage anymore for iron. Good. Okay. Cool. We're going to actually kick up some of the other ones to iron frame buildings. We'll slowly kick over Beijing as we get the resources there, but don't want to worry about that at the moment here. Looking at trade routes. Let's get rid of the one to the GB. We don't care about them. Make a ton out of the wood one. The guns are expensive. And tooling is not profitable, but that's all fine. Our iron route kind of sucks. Probably because we don't have demand for iron anymore, which is the thing. So Japanese shogunate in Ainu. Conquer state. Otherwise, we can get on Japan's side. What will Japan offer us? An obligation. What would the Ainu give us? War goal. We could open their market, or we could just do something crazy and take, like, Tokyo. Or Tohoku. I'll leave that be for now. We don't need to get involved while we have this. There goes Hanover. They probably have now broken free from GB. And just like that, I think we've done well enough here. Do they have the war goal? I don't think they do. No. What do they occupy? Do they have Russia? Where's the humiliation of Russia? So they don't have... Oh, they want war reps. Probably have something somewhere that's not the main goal. I won't ask questions. This is all progressing just fine. Still not winning the naval front. That's fine. They're going to now drop into the negatives, and they should give up pretty soon afterwards. Here we go. -1. And we'll be fine. Russia does not have any capitulation desire. They will be around, and GB is going to slowly get X'd out, and that should be a War 1 for us. A dangerous one, but a good one nonetheless. We can ditch that small arms later. We won't deal with it for now, but whew, that was rough. That was rough. I've had other games where we win that cleanly, but that was too close for comfort. But now this army is too weak now. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and kick back over to full iron frame buildings. This army that's naval invading has been decimated to the point where they can't actually beat us. So I think we'll be fine with all of our shortages and those things. We aren't getting through our iron mines. That's good. If I were to cancel road maintenance here, would you still have enough capacity? You would not, so we will keep road maintenance. Even though you have 5 ports, it's still not enough. And I do pass a law. I got distracted. We are going to pass the no social security to get rid of poor laws. You can see we pay 15K in welfare already. We'll get rid of that. If we have people that are struggling, they can move, right? We have enough population that we don't care about the little guy in our country. At least not yet. We're the harsh monarchy before we embrace communist utopia later on. But there we go. Get out of the war, get recognized, get war reps, and all of our money problems are now fully gone. I'm going to take this fleet that we have, and I'm actually going to unify them together. No reason to have a separate fleet when they're so small. They're kind of useless. And so now we've been recognized. which bodes well for us. Let's start improving relations. We're going to get a rivalry with GB. That will be a big theme. We're going to improve with France because they are the natural opponent to GB, and let's try to use our infamy to do something else. So we have Dynam over here. Let's try to make them a protectorate and get them involved in our country here. Great Britain might get involved, so might the... Well, everyone else is kind of favoring us. Cambodia might get involved, but that's fine. Great Britain has raveled us back. We'll raise one army. Who is our best one that has cautious advance? You have cautious advance. We're going to put you on the front over here. Leave him be and let his numbers do the thing. We're going to have the other guys defend and just let us do our stuff over here. Get some loyalists. This is in Hubei. We're not going to have high standards of living, so we're going to just go for the top one there. National security should pass through all the way. And we're slowly working on that iron shortage. And now there's diplomatic ties with Austria. Let's look at our trade routes so we can go ahead and drop the guns. We will need to import some guns, but it won't be too many until we go to line infantry. So we cannot worry about that too much. Look at things that we have an excess for. All right, where's our excess? There's a ton of grain exports that we'd be making to Russia. In fact, we will. Let's start by productivity. That is the best one for only 30 convoys too. That's quite good. Quite good indeed. Exporting liquor to the Russians as well for 10 convoys. And we also have a huge excess of things like silk and dyes, which will be very valuable. We don't have the convoys for them right now, but we will circle back to those and see what we can do. Let's just double check through here and make sure I can't do anything to improve our production. We seem to be fine. Seem to be fine indeed. Let's get more loyalists here because this law should pass without our help. We're going to go to Citrus Market and make sugar for all of our plantations. Butchering tools. How's our balance of tooling? Do I want to go for that right away? No, we don't want to go butchering tools right away. We'll let that take time. All right, that should handle Dynam. And I think once we get through the iron mines, first things first, I want to build us a couple more construction sectors. We're going to need to sort by the available amount of peasants. There is Jingxi and Henan. Which one of these is on the coast? Because we don't have access to any thing on the sea here. Let's go. How many people do you have? You have... Okay, let's do it in Jingxi. We'll get like 5 more construction sectors. It's going to cost us some money. How much do we get in war reps from GB? Looks like 35k. 23k in war reps. Okay, that's quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. So that's going to be fine, but we're going to also get rid of the welfare payments. That'll counteract the war reps. We will actually have this unrest. That should be good. There's a stall. For 5 years, get negative relations, or I can just let it take time. Why are we getting a stall? That seems strange. Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that law taking a little bit more time to pass. It's not going to bother us too much here. Especially with us getting these things figured out, these iron mines. You don't have enough people to hire. Sounds like a good reason to put in a university in this building. Let's queue up like 2 universities here. That's going to be the next thing we focus on after we get our construction up to its current level. We're just going to get our universities, try to get our innovativeness up to the cap and exceed it. That way we have more spread, and that should get us positioned well to take advantage of our GDP here, which is at 136 million right away. Quite nice. We've dealt with our shortage of goods. How are we doing in terms of iron? If I take a look, it still says we're short. Okay, we just got another one. I guess our constructors are coming online then. It's close. Let's get Dynon Protectorate done. Bureaucratic Imbergoglio. I hate these stalls. It's supposed to be an easy one to pass. I see we now have negative bureaucracy. That is a thing I have to worry about. All right, so we'll have to build more government administration soon. Let's go and see how we're actually faring here. We do have standardized filing cabinets. Okay, we're making money again. What is the cause for this? Oh, we had a modifier, I think, that affected this, correct? Not sure. Not sure. Dynam is on our side. We have some free infamy. Can we go and make a play for Burma? Or Siam? Likely not. Likely not. What about the Sikh Empire? Or Kokand? I want to be careful not to expand anywhere where Russia is going to hate our guts. But some expansion is good. Let's also get a little idea of what's happening in North Germany, as well as the Nile. So there's going to be some plays that we can get involved in over there. The alternative is to start taking African land. We'll hold off. Once we get lionfish, maybe we go and try to get some claims in Africa and have Chinese colonies in Africa, which would be cool. But for now, I just want to be involved over here when they start making plays to unify Germany. All right, next law roll. There is Social Security gone. That will save us some money. And now I think we can make a play for dedicated police force. It's going to cost a ton of bureaucracy. We won't be able to afford all of it. But we can build more government administrations to deal with that soon. In fact, let's queue up some of those things now. Let's look where we have the least amount of tax and the most amount of infrastructure. How much do you use? You use... What does that say? You use 1 infrastructure? So let's build 10 of these in Jiangxi. 50 bureaucracy pure, so that's going to give us 500 bureaucracy. Not quite enough. We're going to need another 10, so do another 10 here. And that will get us 1,000 extra bureaucracy that we can use towards our dedicated police force, which should pass. Now it's going to deal with any turmoil that we have. We're making a ton of money right now. Do I let it sit? Do I cut back taxes? Not sure. Opium is still very productive for us. That was a tech that we got. Faith knows no bounds. Improved relations with Dynam. I'm fine with that. Do promotion. We'll give you a promotion. Okay, so we now have production tech to choose. Or we could go and do military. I think we're going to be fine just getting the spread of the military. Light infantry would be really good for us, but I want to go into industry to give us time to build up. The alternative here is going for trade route bureaucracy costs and having better trade routes in this region. We are... Our main goal here is actually to form a communist society, so it might be good to put more focus in this area. Education, total separation, public schools, and Empire Reform Party. Alternatively, there's Free Trade Party. There also is currency standards for per capita taxation and minting. I think we go for intensive agriculture. Let's go get railways first. I think that's a good idea. Intensive agriculture. Then we're going to get probably... Let's think about this. So precision tooling is good, and same with steel tools, but Bessemer process makes more steel. I think we go atmospheric engine, mechanical tools, Bessemer processing, railroad, then water tube boiler. Logic here is atmospheric engine lets us get our motor industries, and atmospheric engine pump is really good for our resources where we're struggling. Then we go mechanical tools, and by this point we should have some kind of, small steel industry building up. We can use that to get more tooling. And then Bessemer process make us more steel just in time to build railways, which take the main cost of our steel. And then water tube boiler just comes in and gives us even more. That'll be our priority here. And then probably we go nitroglycerin. Baking will be a good source of money for us. I don't think that's too important right now. That's what we'll hit through. We'll go and do an early focus on industry, and then we'll circle back and get some of the things that we need in the other areas as well. So, in terms of our money situation, are we neutral if you count in... So, counting out GB's money they're giving us, we're about 2K up. It's kind of varying up and down there, but we'll just count that as kind of 2K. We've been embargoed by GB. We will embargo you back. Fuck you. And now we're making 48K. Wow. That actually changed. I guess we didn't have something working? Okay. That's going to go down by a lot whenever we start passing dedicated police force, which is fine. I have not done too many jump cuts in this, but I'm also finding stuff to talk about, so that's kind of cool. Don't have to do too much editing in the post. Lucky me. All right, I think... Once we get our government administrations built up, there's 2 things we could focus on. Who is this? So who's the guy that we had coming in? For 5 years, we'd lose 20K. Yeah, no, they can just have the interest group attraction. We're not going to get rid of the scholar officials anytime soon. And there's popular prayer. Ugh, they've ruined my event. Look what they've done to my boy. He used to be so good. You can see how our rivals, our radicals changed once we did the no social, what's the word? No social security or whatever the hell it is. All right, we're going to actually go for the university throughput here. After we get through the government administrations, I'm going to queue up a ton of universities. In fact, I should already queue some of those. Let's go right here. Sort by peasants, and I want to just do 10 in each area where we have stuff. So this is going to give us 2 innovation per. If we want to go to our cap, we need about 20 innovativeness. We're going to go 20 over. I think that's fine. Let's actually... We'll do that for now. It's probably going to introduce some kind of shortage in the paper area, which we're already dealing with. So let's go and just save some time and queue up some paper industries. We already have some here in Southern Anhui. It's going to take... Let's see where we have the most. Let's do it in Sichuan. Get up to the throughput bonus of 21 that we have right now for economy of scale. Discord from the literati. I really do like the literati. I want them to be relevant. There they go. They're relevant. And the Ottoman Empire and Egypt seem to be wanting to go at it with one another, so that's the thing. Maybe we make a play on Siam. 16 infamy. We can do it. Hopefully no one gets involved. GB shouldn't be able to fight us right now. Willing for Bong, Selangor. How many people do you have? 45. We should be able to fight you. Make a protectorate. British East Indies is my concern. How do you feel about British East Indies? I think we'll be fine doing this one. Yeah, we'll do Burma instead. Just playing it safe, because if I get Burma, I won't have to worry about the East Indies over here doing some crazy stuff later on. So we're going to make a play for that right now. Who wants to get involved? Who is accepting one? Dynam, would you give me an obligation to get involved? We actually will take the obligation, I think, with Dynam to get them involved. I don't think it'll be necessary, but it's good to have. Would have been better against Siam. Especially since I don't actually have a border with Siam now that I think about it. But more numbers is always good. That'll get them out here. Let's go and do war reps too. We're going to ban your slavery and open your market and get war reps here. Get all the things with you. And we'll make them all primary. We'll get you set up to be prosperous in the future. Might have some political unrest, but early game we don't need too many wars here. Japanese Shogunate, they want to open the market. You would get an obligation, and you would give me a bankroll. Let's see what you're offering me before I take the bankroll, but probably bankroll is the best thing to do. Or we could liberate a country. Ainu Mosir. Okay, so can I see where these countries are? Izo. I would love to know, like, where this is going. So Ainu is up here. But if I liberate Izu... Which is more money? So this is a good question for us. Do we want money? Or do we want an expansion target in Japan? I want the expansion target in Japan. Just for the kind of, like, you know, the enmity between these two in this period and leading up to World War I and World War II. We're going to liberate Izo. Get the Shogun weak. Make him unimportant. And that'll make it easy to get a foothold on the Japanese islands and handle that. We're going to try to assert our dominance. China was going to be the nation I played at the start of Sphere of Influence, but since they're kicking back a month, we will not be doing that. But it would have been cool to kind of expand our Sphere of Influence here, but instead we'll just do it in the old patch and get things done that way. I don't know what I just got. I just got a text somewhere. It was a paddle steamer. I feel like it was paddle steamer. Yeah, that was paddle steamer, because we now get mandatory service. Okay. So in Gansu, where is Gansu? It's a state that probably has like 10 people in it. Okay, we will not take the... Okay, we'll do the authority. We'll lose authority. Okay, so we just got our law passed for dedicated police force. What's the next thing we want to throw in there? We now have a traditionalist. We have a moderate. None of these guys are really good for us. I think we can go for Who favors landed voting? Who can I throw in to get some power here? If we just shift the literati in power and try to force some stuff through here, I think we'll be fine. We need to do things that people don't actively support. For instance, like that they don't have a active will against. Let's try landed voting here. Get our first instance of political parties forming. Who is this? This is Fintang. And will you give me become subject for any of these? I'm really hoping for become subject. Okay, that sucks. Burma should fall. Our armies are strong enough with cautious advance. It's such a good thing. Diplomatic pact with Portugal. I don't like Portugal. I kind of want to attack Portugal because they have a treaty port on my lands. The one treaty port of Macau that they have against us is going to be a huge pain in the butt for us. Are we passing a law? We are passing a law, so I will keep my authority high here. That's doing decently. Can I take my navy? Let's try to land. So my navy never. Why did they not group up? Okay. Let's do a naval invasion of this region. Let's just do it with. I want to get some. Okay, they're actually defending both at once. That's kind of crazy. Are we going to be able to land here? What did they want from me? They want French war reps. This might just wipe peace out. Maybe I should take them to bankroll. I don't know if France is enough to beat the Japanese. What are you repping? You got regulars and hussars. We will see. Our landing's never going to progress, which is fine. This should be done. Get out of the war with Burma. Landed voting has succeeded its first debate here. Here comes the French military, or navy at least. There's the military. And there goes Burma. Is this a sign for me to up my war preparation here? Also, maybe let's go and throw one more government administration in the queue. I know we did even numbers here, but let's do like 1 in Beijing and like 4 more in Nanjing real quick. Just to get us above that tax waste threshold that we have. All right, I want to see how this war goes, and we'll see if I need to try to do something here. Because they will have a ton of manpower to reinforce their troops. I don't know if the 26 troops they're invading with are going to actually do a damn thing here. Here's the fight. Okay, they are doing something, so what this means is I want to do a naval invasion to keep that Japanese manpower as low as possible. Get more loyalists. I'll make sure that army... Yeah, they're going to just have problems with that army's manpower, I think. 25% there. I'm going to have terrible... Yeah, that's a terrible threshold. I'm actually decimating my manpower by doing this. Okay, call that naval invasion off. We need more troops to be able to do that, and more boats. Yeah, get rid of ours. Yeah, we'll stop that. Demobilize the troops. We tried. Didn't give us any infamy, so we lost nothing out of that. In fact, it probably will just improve our relations with France. So nothing wrong there. Ottomans and Egypt are fighting. Looks like Egypt is losing. Who's involved? No one. There's an earthquake in Outer Manchuria. So for 5 years, costs 70,000, or we just get devastation. Outer Manchuria, there's not a lot of pops there relative to our actual size there, so that's fine. Emergency relief in Gansu. Sure. Emergency relief here. We have a famine. Name 2 things that go together better than China and a famine. Bet you can't. More love for the China. Our loyalists are just or what's the word? Our radicals are growing ever faster, which is a concern. We're getting through our universities. I'll let that take time, and there's paper mills, and we need to start looking at what we can do to make our people's lives better, which will be a thing here. So if we take a look, getting them more excess of certain resources will be good. The opium will be a whole thing, but we're getting close to getting rid of it. We just need to let the time pass and be at peace for some time here. And this is going to take quite a bit. Yeah, they're going to hit 0 and then they'll stop, but is there a chance that this is actually hurting them enough to where they have debt? I bet you they are doing fine. Yeah, they have full gold reserves. Meanwhile, France is costing themselves money. Yeah, probably will not go well for us or the French, but that's fine. We'll stop at 0 and we'll let that sit there. If we can get Ezos out of this somehow, I'll be just content. And they are losing some troops. Ever so slowly. I wish they just brought more than 26 troops. It's kind of pathetic. But, I mean, it's the same problem GB had, so... I capitulate. I should just take the damn bankroll. Okay, I mean, that's a mistake that happens. We'll go and get out of this. What's the benefits of staying here? Do we think they're going to naval invade and win? I don't think we will. Yeah, we'll get out of this, capitulate. You will like us probably a little bit less. Which is fine. We're still cordial. So that does not matter. And it gets our truce out a little faster. Okay. We're at about 45 minutes. We've made it about 6 years in. We're set up pretty well. We're getting our innovativeness up here now. We're at 67. Once these finish building, we'll shoot up the ranks. And it's time to focus internally and get some things figured out. We need more iron. We need more clothes. We need a lot more resources. So it's time to really make some big leaps in our production here. In fact, let me just throw down like 4 of these. And then it's going to be a push towards railways. So that's what we're going to be doing. Working on tech and slowly building out our market here. We have subjects now in Burma and Dainam. And we're going to start focusing on Siam, and maybe we'll come back to the Shogun once we can build ourselves up a navy to contest them. But for now, I'm going to call this one here. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been Sean's Blue Screeners, and I'll catch you next one. Later.